2 years ago, I did a review on the ProFlight Trainer PUMA. It's the control system that I used for training when I was learning how to fly a helicopter and training at home. ProFlight Trainer sent me their PUMA X for a review, and today we're going to talk about some of the differences and whether it's an upgrade. So full disclosure, in both cases, ProFlight Trainer sent me the control for an unbiased review, and that's what we're going to do. We'll talk about the pros and cons. So what's different with the ProFlight Trainer PUMA X? Well, the first thing you notice is it's got a lot of buttons. It's got over 30 assignable functions. It's got buttons, slewable controls, everything on the collective now that it didn't have in previously. The cyclic is pretty much the same. It's a very standard helicopter setup. Not much to talk about there. Collective, though, is where everything has pretty much changed. First off, it's adjustable. So now there's position adjustments, so you can actually sit higher in chairs. That was kind of an issue with the other one. You only had the one setting. But more buttons, over 30 assignable functions that you can do with all the buttons, which if you're flying something like the Apache, that is perfect. I mean, that is exactly what you're looking for. Although my biggest complaint with DCS is it doesn't auto map anything. So, DCS doesn't know how to recognize controllers. So you're going to sit there and spend some time getting it set up the way you want it. The other piece too is now instead of one throttle, it actually has an option for two throttles. So multi-engine, again, Apache, other larger helicopters, that's good for. The first one only had one. And then everything after that is pretty much the same. It's very compact. You can fold it, store it, put it away. And then control system-wise, it's exactly what you need to fly helicopters. It feels right. You can adjust the friction, so it doesn't have a centering position or anything like that. So it's very good. So the cons of it, my personal opinion, the assembly. So the first one I had was a ready to fly, which is what I recommend. Second one was pretty much, you got to do the whole thing yourself. I'm not a builder. It took me a couple hours to get it complete. They do give you the gummy bears, which is very nice, but I'd prefer to just have something that I can set up in 20 minutes. But other than that, it's a very good, if I can do it, anybody can set it up. It's just a little bit time consuming. Also, I think they're changing this soon. The previous one actually had a centering block because there's no centering spring or centering position, there's nothing to tell you what true zero is. So when you go to calibrate it in Microsoft Windows, you have to actually calibrate it for your seating position because there's no standard zero, which the previous version actually had a little red block that you'd put in, and that was zero. That is actually changing. They're 3D printing one. And I think that'll be included eventually as well, or they're testing it right now. But it's not a deal breaker. It's just something you got to be aware of, that your centering position may not be the same as someone else's. It's based on what you go into Windows when you calibrate the device is what your center position is. So that could be an issue if you're not seated the same way every time. Otherwise, it's high quality. It's the same as the previous version. It's what I use when I fly the Apache in DCS or the Huey. It keeps you very consistent. It feels like you're actually flying a helicopter. The current version that I have now actually has toe brakes, which is good for the Apache or the Hind. Didn't have that previously. So overall, I think it's a great control system for helicopter specific. It's easy to get in and out of the way when you're not using it, and then it has a seat blocker that you can use to keep it in place while you're flying. So I want to thank ProFlight Trainer for sending me their PUMA X. I think it's a great upgrade. If you don't have anything at all, it's definitely worth the upgrade. If you've got the PUMA, I would only upgrade if you're going to go fly the Apache or something that needs a lot of buttons. Otherwise, the PUMA is perfectly satisfactory and good. But if you're looking for something that's, you can use a whole bunch of buttons for the Apache or the Hind or something like that, you definitely want to upgrade. Definitely worthwhile doing so. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. I'll leave a link in the description on how you can find out more from ProFlight Trainer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.